Well, back out in the garage. It's Sunday. Just unloaded the Concorde. Hey, believe it or not, Ruben, we missed a couple of waters. There was still some in there. But they're gone now, so don't worry about it. Feeling a lot better. Feeling normal. So, hey Ruben, when you told me I didn't get much sun, you didn't tell me I look like that hitch over there. So, now I know why I was weebly and staggering. I got way too much sun yesterday. I guess that's what happens when you get older and your hair falls out. You have no protection. But, yeah, moving on to other things. I mean, me and Ruben talked about a lot of stuff with his car and my car and why I'm at where I am and some things I told him about that could help him out with his car. And obviously, if he has any questions, he could just call me and ask me. When it comes to all that emission stuff, Ruben, believe it or not, the Concorde looks almost identical to your car underneath, underneath the hood. I could always just pop the hood and give you videos if you want to retrace everything rather than me explain it to you. But I think you got a little while for that. I do have a question. It seems a little early, but I'm going to ask it anyway so I get different opinions. I mean, you guys know I put a halt on the wagon. Family priorities took over. I actually laid the fender back on too. The fender's sitting on the car. Throughout the rest of the summer, I am going to get the car blocked out, epoxied, and probably sitting in slick sand, and then just laying here till the fall when the humidity breaks. So I can run the air conditioner in here. I have central air in the garage, but not while I'm painting. So, but that's another story in itself. Now that the car is going to lay till this winter, I'm going to do the whole car in one shot. Because originally I was going to do the car, get it out for the spring, then next winter do the roof. So now I'm just going to do it all in one shot. Okay? The roof, other than one little tiny little ding, the roof is straight. So the roof isn't going to take much. I'm actually not going to do much to it other than probably strip it down, get all the paint off, just so I don't have issues. But I'm still going to leave the bottom of the car satin black. But I am going to do the roof gold, and I'm going to do it metal flake gold. That was the original intentions for years now. I read an article the other day from, it was in Carcraft. It's an older magazine, probably 4 or 5 years old, I think at least. And they were at Peter Santini's shop. He's based out of Los Angeles. Some of you guys might know who he is. Been around since the 70s, does a lot of the wild paint schemes and stuff from back in the day till now or whatever. And he talked about doing flake. And I want to know if anybody's ever done it, if I'm understanding it correctly. That's really my question, and if anybody's ever done it, can give me tips. I'm not talking about prepping the car. We'll assume the car's prepped. If I understood it correctly, he puts a silver base coat on the car so that anything he puts in the flake, the silver will shine through. Then he uses 3 different size flake, which I have in the article. Okay. He puts the flake into clear. He uses a 2.0 tip. He puts a very, very low pressure and he shoots the flake on. And he says he puts a low pressure on so when the flake hits it doesn't tumble and do all sorts of crazy things, I guess, so it lays a little flatter. Puts the flake onto the desired whatever. Obviously lets it dry. Then he'll shoot anywhere from 5 to 8 coats of clear, but not in one session. He says he doesn't recommend more than 4 coats of clear, because if you do more than that, it'll never set up and it'll give you problems down the road. Then after the 4 coats of clear cure, he gives it a light wet sand, but he doesn't want you to break through and touch any of the metallic, just so it's flat. And then he wants you to proceed to the amount that you feel is required to seal it. Okay, to seal above the flake. That's basically what he wants you to do. He wants you to seal the flake in clear like it's suspended. Then, since this would be gold, he was talking about using a gold, I guess, translucent candy. You lay down your desired whatever to get the gold you'd want. Obviously, you're still going to see the silver coming through, just like I guess what Fats the Cat just did with his airbrushing. Then, when you're done with that, then you lay the clear on there again Then when it's all done, you wet sand it, and buff it, and it'll give you the full depth that you're looking for. You'll see like the candy, not the candy. You'll see the flake floating in the clear. Sounds a lot of paint to me. Is that how anybody else has seen it done or heard it done or have done it? I can understand the theory. I mean, my buddy Rich, not VW Rich, did his 40 Ford that he did back in the 60s. He did a silver flake job on the car, which was on it to the day he sold it a handful of years ago. That's the car I talk about. But he did it lacquer. And after the flake was on, they just keep laying the lacquer on, laying it on, laying it on, laying it on, laying it on to bury it. Then they do what they do, to wet sand it and wheel it and stuff like that, which is a little different process. His car didn't have any, since his was a silver flake job, it didn't have any of the candy in there to turn it like gold, like a candy apple gold flake. So if anybody can give me any helpful hints, because it's not something I want to learn on Tuesday and do on Wednesday. It's something I want to look into, check into. I probably do the roof before the bottom. So, and then I could just seal off the roof as I'm working on the bottom of the car. It'd probably be a lot easier in here to do it. So, like I said, if anybody has any ideas and they could tell me, it'll help me get moving forward.